So, these 30 days will decide your rank. Most aspirants waste it, but rankers will execute it. So, I am here sharing you these last 30 days strategy. So, I had done a poll on my Instagram channel yesterday that you are aiming for a top government seat with top AIR or you want to qualify. And 89% of people said that they want top AIR with government seat. So let's see what does top AIR means and which AIR will get you a government seat. So if you are scoring anywhere less than 400, that means you are sure shot getting a government seat. But if you want the college of your choice and branch of your choice, you have to get and score below it. Then questions you have to do correct. They are 180 plus out of 240 to get this rank. And your attempt should be anywhere more than 230 plus. So I am sharing you with the last 30-day strategy that I myself followed. But before proceeding, I want to tell you that खुद को कर बुलंद इतना कि हर तकदीर से पहले खुदा बंदे से खुद पूछे कि तेरी रजा क्या है. That is, you work hard towards your goal so much that the Almighty Himself will ask you that what do you want, and your dreams will get fulfilled. So these last 30 days, I have divided into three time phases. The first time phase is the organization phase, then is the R1 and R2 phase. So most importantly, what you have to do today is that give one GT today. This is most important to analyze yourself that where you stand. After giving this GT, do a subject-wise analysis of that GT and divide your subject into these four categories. The subject that you are scoring 80% correct or more, categorize that as strong. For example, 10 questions are asked from general medicine and you are scoring 8 out of 10. So that is your strong subject. Then 60% to 80% is an intermediate subject. 40% is a weak subject. 40% to 60% is a weak subject. And less than 40% is very, very poor. So you have to work on this weak subject and this poor subject first. So what will we do? From 30th March to 4th April, 6 days, 6 subjects. We are going to work on this weak and poor subject. Then on 2nd of April, we will give another GT. That is mandatory. And GT, how you have to give? You have to sit with a PC, desktop, and give the GT as you will give the final exam from 9 to 12. Sit in front of the PC for 3 hours and solve that GT. Then next is 6th April to 11th April, 6 days, another 6 subjects. If your weak and poor are over, then you have to concentrate on the intermediate subjects. Then on 12th April, we are going to give a third GT. This is also mandatory. Analyzing GT is also mandatory. I have put the how to analyze my the GT on my Instagram page. You can check it out. Then from 13th April to 18th April, another 6 days and another 6 subjects. Now you can do your strong subjects quickly. So now in these three phases, 6 subjects and 6 subjects, we have completed all our subjects. And on so fourth GT will be giving on 19th April. That is also mandatory. So in a GT of any academy, how much marks you have to focus on? You have to focus anywhere between 160 to 180 plus correct. If you are scoring this much correct, so you have high probability to get a government seat. Then we come to our R1 phase. So this was our organization phase. I will tell in depth what you have to do subject wise, but this was our organization phase. Then next is R1, that is revision first from 19th April to 26th April. Then the fifth GT you can give or cannot give based on your revision. If you want to revise, you can revise, and this fifth GT you can skip or not. It is totally dependent on you. And R2 will be our final revision phase, and 2nd May is our D-Day. Now, how to analyze GT? So basically in GT analysis, you have to cut down on your silly mistakes. The person who is going to do the least silly mistakes will get a much more good rank. You have to cut down on your silly mistakes and you have to analyze which questions you are doing wrong and study those topics. Then how you have to do one subject. So firstly, see what are the important topics of that subject. So on my Instagram page, you can go to this link And when you click on this link, I have uploaded the important topics subject wise. So before starting any subject on these days, that is the organization phase, see the important topics of that particular subject. After seeing the important topics, solve PYQs. Last 10 years NEET and INI PYQs. I have also uploaded the PYQs on the same link. You can go and check it out. Solve PYQs and questions you get stuck at. Read the full explanation of that question. Then you come to know that these all things are being asked in the exam, and this I am facing a problem. So read that topic thoroughly that day. And last and the most important is create a 100-page last minute revision book. What will this book include? The important classification, name of authors, years, and your GT mistakes that you are doing in the grand test. So this last minute revision book we will study in the R1 and R2 phase. So what you have to do in these starting 20 to 25 days, you have to sit and study one subject daily and concise them into 100-page book where you are writing the classification or things you have to revise before exam. So preparation is not about doing a subject. Preparation is about working towards that last week where we have to revise. To make our revisions easier, we have to prepare smartly. So what I am doing for you guys? So I am uploading a daily Q&A video on my Instagram channel. You can check it out. My Instagram is by the name of Reloading Dentistry. And what I am doing, I am taking the most important topics in that, and I am also providing notes. So you are also getting annotated notes absolutely free. You can go to this link, download these notes, sit. I am uploading only a 3-minute video every day. So sit, watch that video, study these notes, and revise that note at least 1 hour daily and before the exam. I guarantee you that after watching these 50 to 60 videos that I'll be uploading one every day till NEET 2026, more than 40 questions will come from it. So it is easy. What we have to revise in a final revision phase is that 100-page revision book you are making. If you're not making, it's okay. So you can revise my notes that I am uploading in the link. So how much time you have to allot daily to your preparation? So you have to allot 10 to 12 hours. This is the bare minimum for people who are sitting at home and preparing. So how are you going to divide your time? So people who are at home, they have to study in 2 hour intervals. 2 hour, then take 1 hour rest, then 2 hours, then take 1 hour rest. I would suggest that morning 2 hours utilized for volatile subjects like pharma, anatomy, micro. Focus on pharmacology in the morning 2 hours. For people who are working like me, I used to work. So how can you allot your time? So sit in the morning from 6 to 8, 2 hours and do pharma. Then 9 to 5, while you are at work, utilize around 1 or 2 hours while you are at work and go through some questions. And then after coming back, rest for 1 hour. This is very important. You don't have to study. You have to study, but in between you also have to take some 5 to 10 minutes break so that your mind does not get saturated. Then from 6 to 8, study for another 2 hours. 9 to 11, another 2 hours, and squeeze half an hour somewhere in between. So we are at 9.5 hours. That is good. Then for pharma, I will be releasing something soon that will cover everything, and that will be a bonus and a AIR for your pharma last minute revision. So let me come to some doubts that I had got in my Q&A poll that I had put on Instagram. So a person is saying that I'll try next year as I'm not fully prepared for this year. So I would like to say that just do these things for the next 30 days, but just give a try. It will tell you how you have to go in the 2027 for your NEET preparation. It will give you that strength, that strategy. Then a person is say that I have not done pulse. Should I start right now? No. Don't solve pulse. Just focus on the previous year questions. If you have done pulse previously and marked something, only then, only the mark things you can go through it, but don't start afresh. Then how to qualify? Just do these things and qualify. So in the end, my favorite quote that is success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. So keep working hard towards your goal and all the best for your preparation.